Welcome to my kitchen. It is cold and rainy outside, so today we are making gumbo, a nice comfort food for whenever the cold seasons hits you. All right, now let's get into the recipe. First things first, you're going to want to cut up your sausage, debone your chicken, onions, celery, and bell peppers. Cut those up. 4-line baking sheet and add in your okra into a 400-degree oven. Remember that dry roux that we made yesterday? We're going to put it to the test today. We're going to see how our gumbo come out. Get you a pan, put you some oil in it, heat it up, put in your sausages. Once your sausages start to brown, we're going to go ahead and add in our celery first, because we want our celery to start to soften before we add in our onions and our bell peppers. So we're going to let the celery get a head start before we add in the rest of our vegetables. Now, once you get all of your celery added into your pot, you're going to want to go ahead and give it a nice good stir so it can so it can start to, soften up in the oil that you used in your pan along with the sausage oil that has released from your andouille sausages. Then you're going to add in your onions and your bell peppers after those start to soften. And then you are going to give it a nice stir again. Yes. After you get all your onions and your bell peppers in there, you're going to give it a nice stir. Now, I did 2 onions because they were small. I did 4 bell peppers, but I only added in 2 because I needed to use them up. Okay. Celery ribs, I did about 6. So, there's that for that. Now, give it a nice stir. Let everything kind of excuse me, hit the pot and start to warm up, start to soften up. Now we're going to go ahead and season everything. So in this bowl, I have 4 tablespoons of paprika, 3 tablespoons of cayenne, a teaspoon and a half of onion and garlic powder, a teaspoon and a half of oregano and thyme, and a teaspoon of salt and pepper. Now we are going to add it on top of our vegetables, give it a nice stir so we can start to awaken all of our seasonings. Now after you have done that, you're going to get you a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes, and you're going to go ahead and open them. Open your can, okay? And then after you get it open, you're going to go ahead and add that to your pot. Just like so. Add it in, Sarah. There it goes. Okay. Now we're going to add that in. Now, once you get your tomatoes added in there, okay, and you get it all stirred in and it starts to mingle with the seasonings and those other vegetables, then you're going to want to grab your dry roux. Yes, grab your dry roux, grab a tablespoon, and this is what we're going to do. Now, I put in, I want to say 3 tablespoons, but if you wanted to do it like in cup measurements, add in 4 tablespoons, that would have been a fourth the cup that you used. Okay, I just did 3 tablespoons, and I put it on top of the vegetables like this. But why did I do it like this? Well, for one, because I want to awaken up that dry roux. Okay, I want it to go ahead and start to absorb the oil in the pot and all the juice that the vegetables have released and the andouille sausages released. Now, once you get your dry roux all mixed in, and I also didn't want to, mess up another bowl. You're going to go ahead and add in your water, chicken stock, beer, or wine, whatever you have on hand. I just used 2 store-bought 32-ounce cartons of chicken broth because that's what I had on hand, and I wanted to go ahead and use it up. I did 2 of them. You can do more or less, but when I make gumbo, I make a big pot so it can last a couple of days. Sometimes I do have to freeze the other half, so whatever. I could just pull it out whenever and I didn't have to cook that day. But if you want to adventure out of the box, you can add some wine. You can add a Cajun beer if you have one on hand. I've done all those before, and they've all turned out really, really good. But I just went ahead and did the chicken broth today. Or you could just use plain water, vegetable broth, or seafood stock, whatever you have on hand. Okay? Really, whatever you have on hand. Now we're going to let all those flavors mingle together. Let it come up to a boil. And we're going to slap a lid on it, let it come up to a boil, let all those flavors really develop, let them get to mingle with each other. Okay, and then after it comes up to a boil and it starts to thicken like right here, we're going to go ahead and add in our okra. Now, the reason I put my okra into a 400-degree oven is because you know how when you put okra into anything and it becomes like slimy? Well, we don't like that over here. So I put it in the oven to get rid of the slime and then I add it in. I always add in my okra last because I don't want it to break up that down that much in my gumbo as it's boiling. Okay, and then the more times that you stir it, the more it's going to break down. So I added that last. I added my deboned chicken last because we really just want to heat those up, you know, give it a nice good stir, add in our chicken. Then once you add in your desired amount of chicken, ow, just give it a nice good stir. But my husband said, hey, I knew we had some more of this in the freezer. So he opened it and I ended up putting it. Now my gumbo is usually very vegetable heavy, but I think it's kind of evened out. Okay, you see I let it come up to another soft boil. I'm just, you know, putting that chicken down there so it can start to heat up. And then here comes the shrimp. Yep, I just threw it all frozen, whatever. Why? Because it's going to defrost and cook in the gumbo. The gumbo's hot enough. It's boiling, so it's hot enough. So after I added in my shrimp, I turned off my stove, put a pot on it, let it set for 7 to 8 minutes. Then after 7 to 8 minutes, I tell you, when I came back, the shrimp was defrosted, cooked, everything was heated through, and it was time to plate up. Now let's see. Did the dry roux really help get this onto the table faster? Yes, it did. I got off work at 6:30, got home about 7. I didn't start cooking till about 7:30. 8:05 is when I was plating it up. So 35 minutes in my book is a win. So I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to keep it. I'll probably keep it on hand because, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, you could probably use it for brown gravy, you know, to make it go a little bit faster for whenever you're running late and you got to get dinner on the table. I could use it for brown chicken stew. I could use it for etouffee. So I'll probably keep this on hand. Now, did it change the flavor of my roux at all? No, it did not. It didn't change anything in it. Was it good? Hell yeah, that was good. That was a nice, good gumbo right there. Yes, we all enjoyed it. It was nice. And